Good afternoon, YouTube friends and family. How's everybody doing? I hope you've had a great Saturday. Today is the 13th of October, and I am doing Vedo number 9. What I want to cover is not what I had planned to cover. I changed my mind. And the reason I changed my mind is my dear, dear, dear friend, Starduster RE, here on YouTube, one of our YouTube family, sent me a very, very important video. The video is regarding the smart meter. And you know, one of the things that I love about YouTube more than anything is the fact that we are, filled up to the top with brilliant, brilliant minds. Absolutely smart people. And they call it conspiracy theory, and that we are conspiracy theorists, and that it's BS and everything. But you know, we come up with information that, number one, is very, very legit, factual, and we also share it when we find it. And the reason we share it is because we are the Shivaget people. You get that? We are the Shivaget people. We're the people that really care. So call us conspiracy theorists if they want to. But boy, we'll wear that with pride because we do care, unlike many others in this world. The smart meter. We all know, we've talked about it, we've passed videos around, warning each other, talking about the potential dangers, and everybody's wanting to stay away from the smart meter. However, power company comes in, they push themselves around, and they put it on your house, whether you want it or not. Well, you know what, people? Guess what? Guess what? Smart meters are causing serious, serious heart damage. They are interrupting pacemakers, disrupting the actual function of pacemakers. We know that electromagnetic radiation damages cells in the body. So, okay, somebody has a heart problem, they get a pacemaker. This thing stops the pacemaker from working right. People are passing out from it. And that isn't the scariest part. The part that is most alarming is that this electromagnetic radiation actually progresses in the body. It builds up. So the damage can get worse and worse and worse. There's some videos. I'm going to put links to the videos down below. Thank you again, Starduster RE. A great share. Share it with everybody that you know. Now for the excitement. Did you know you still have some rights? Yes, you do. FreedomTaker.com. You go to FreedomTaker.com and you can get information on how to get rid of the smart meter, how to put back a safe analog meter, and so you get the replacement kit, and you also can get a legal notice to the power company. So this is something you need to check out. Now, while I was doing this research, I came across something that I'd like to read to you, and I'll try to read it as quickly as I can. I'm not real good at reading out loud. I can read very well, I think. In my head, I think I can, as long as I'm not reading out loud. But I'm going to read this to you. I'm also going to put the link to it so you can read it yourself down in the description box. Karolinski Institute, Department of Neuroscience, Experimental Dermatology Unit. Stockholm, July 9th, 2011. 2011. Okay, this goes to the California Public Utilities Commission. CC Susan Brinchman, Director, Center for Electrosmog Prevention. To the California Public Utilities Commission, I understand that you are at present. Oh gosh, let me start over. I understand that you at present are concerned about the fast development of smart meters on homes in California without adequate sharing of information with the public. I work as an associate professor at Karolinska Institute. We are world famous for our Nobel Prize in oh my gosh, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to say that again. I work as an associate professor at Karolinska Institute. We are world famous for our Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine, which we many times have awarded to your fellow countrymen and women. I also uphold a professorship at the Royal Institute of Technology, it being closely tied to the Nobel Prize in Physics and Chemistry. For many years, I have been studying the health effects of wireless gadgets such as smart meters. Wireless communication is now being implemented in our daily life in a very fast way. At the same time, it is becoming more and more obvious that the exposure to electromagnetic fields may result in highly unwanted health effects. This has been demonstrated in a very large number of studies and includes cellular DNA change, which may lead to an initiation of cancer, as well as mutations that carry down generations. Disruptions and alterations of cellular function, like increases in intracellular stimulatory pathways and calcium handling. Disruption of tissue structures like the blood-brain barrier, my friends, which may allow toxins to enter the brain. Impact on vessel and immune functions and loss of fertility. It should be noted that we are not the only species at jeopardy. Practically all animals and plants may be at stake. Because the effects are reproducibly observed and links to pathology cannot be excluded, the precautionary principle should be in force in the implementation of this new technology within the society. Therefore, policymakers immediately should strictly control exposure by defining biologically based maximal exposure guidelines. Also taking into account long-term non-thermal effects and including especially vulnerable groups such as the elderly, the ill, the genetically and or immunologically challenged, children and fetuses, and persons with functional impairment. Electrohypersensitivity, which in Sweden is a fully recognized functional impairment and therefore receives an annual governmental disability subsidy. Prompted by all this, a group of international experts recently published a very important paper, the Skeleton Scientific Statement 2011. Among its points are low-intensity, non-thermal bioeffects and adverse health effects are demonstrated at levels significantly below existing exposure standards. 2. ICNIRP/WHO and the IEEE/FCC public safety limits are inadequate and obsolete with respect to prolonged low-intensity exposures. Number 3. New biologically based public exposure standards are urgently needed to protect public health worldwide. Number 4. EMR exposure should be reduced now rather than waiting for proof of harm before acting. It is not in the public's interest to wait. There is a need for mandatory pre-market assessments of emissions and risk before deployment of new wireless technologies. There should be convincing evidence that products do not cause health harm before marketing. Number 6, the use of telephone lines, landlines, or fiber optic cables for smart grid type energy conservation infrastructure is recommended. So they're saying that telephone lines, landlines, or fiber optic cables for smart grid type energy conservation infrastructure is recommended. Utilities should choose options that do not create new community-wide exposure from wireless components of smart grid type projects. Future health risk from prolonged or repetitive wireless exposure of smart grid type systems may be avoided by using fiber optic cable. Energy conservation is endorsed but not at the risk of exposing millions of families in their homes to a new involuntary source of wireless radio frequency radiation, the effect of which on their health not yet known. Many smart meters are close to beds, kitchens, playrooms, and other similar locations. These wireless systems are never off, and the exposure is not voluntary. The smart meters are being forced on citizens everywhere. Based on this, the inauguration of smart meters with grudging and involuntary exposure of millions to billions of human beings to pulsed microwave radiation should immediately be prohibited until the red flag can be hauled down once and for all. The recent determination of the World Health Organization, WHO, to include radiofrequent radiation on the 2B list of carcinogens also applies to devices such as smart meters. Already, September 4th, 2008, the European Parliament voted 522 to 16 to recommend tighter safety standards for cell phones. Europe Parl resolution on the midterm review of the European Environment and Health Action Plan 2004 to 2010. In light of the growing body of scientific evidence implicating cell phone use with brain tumors, the Parliament said the limit on exposure to electromagnetic field, EMFs, which have been set for the general public, are obsolete. The European Parliament was greatly concerned at the Bio-Initiative International report concerning EMFs, which summarizes over 1,500 studies on that topic, and which point in its conclusion to the health risk posed by emissions from mobile telephony devices such as mobile telephones, UMTS, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, and Bluetooth, and also DECT landline telephones. And now it is again, and more firmly and seriously, repeated in the form of WHO's recent cancer classification. With my very best regards, yours sincerely, Ole Johansson, Associate Professor, the Experiment Dermatology Unit, Department of Neuroscience, Karolinska Institute, Stockholm, Sweden. Friends, I'm going to put the link to this so that you can read it yourself. I really need a new pair of glasses. It's hard to read and to do it proficiently, and especially when you can't pronounce some of them words. Anyway, the video is something you really need to watch. A gentleman had a pacemaker. He describes his personal experience with the hazard of the smart meter, electromagnetic radiation leakage, interfering with his heart, his pacemaker, and his life. Safe analog meter replacement kits and legal notice to the power company are available at FreedomTaker.net. I also want to add here that not just FreedomTaker.net, but there is also RefuseSmartMeters.com. RefuseSmartMeters.com. Links will be down below. Hey, I love y'all. I love you, love you, love you, love you. And we've been right all along. Smart meter, out. Get them out. They're no good for us. Cell phone, man, minimize it. Not good for you either. We already know that. But you know, society's hooked on those things. Wi-Fi, dangerous. Bluetooth, not good. Read it yourself. Catch you guys later. You know, guys, with all this going on, maybe we need to just back off of some of this technology, and we need to lighten the load and do things a little simpler if we really care about Mother Earth, the animals, the plant life, our trees, the birds, the fish, the bumblebees, and humans. I love y'all. Great big hugs. Starduster RE, you know what? You rock. Thank you for the info. I love each and every one of you. Have a good rest of Saturday. And I'll catch you guys later.